Hello, IFF, Institute for Futures Community. Thank you for being there. Today we have two special guests here with us at Valkiria Hub Space and in Barcelona. Welcome, Jim Lippens and Jeena is Earthiva, sorry. So welcome to Barcelona to both of you. We're hosting a great event. It's about happiness at work. How talent, is just developing in a new vision of organizations. How we are humanizing the concept of values, the vision, how companies are envisioning the future of organizations, of teams. And we want to know a little bit more about what is happiness at work, Jim. What is it about?
Well, in fact, it's happiness. It's happiness at work experience. So what we do, we try to bring the people inspiration, how to transform their business. Based on the current topics, the current burning topics. So what is happening in the business? Where are they struggling? We want to help these companies to create a win-win between employer and employee. And on top, we want to make it an experience. So that is mainly Jeena's job, to create an experience. So not just talking and doing, but also like being and experiencing everything what is happening.
Exactly, because I think it's the great combination of feeling, emotions, and as well the rational part. How talent are getting together, how are we developing these competencies, facing this future foresight thinking. So Jeena, tell us about the experience. What is it about?
So when I met Jim, I was floored by his concept of the way he sees companies, the way he sees people and their mindsets and how to shift. And then I said, why don't we turn it into a real experience? I mean, we can theorize and we can make concepts, but to make it an experience means to make it real in the body, in the mind right now, not sometime in the future. So this is where we started using my core strength, which is music. And we've made it multi-sensory, so it's not just music, it's also aromas and even visuals. So what we do is we hack into the mind of people. You could be a CEO, you could be an employee, you could just be anybody, and you use these hacks. These are guided hacks, and I don't call it meditation because that's too deep, but this one works in 5 to 6 minutes, and you change your state from, let's say, a very lazy state to a more productive state, a more productive state to a more creative state, a creative state to more happier state. And when you feel like, okay, now I'm going to burn out, we use the beat the burnout combination of music and aroma. So together, this is a very powerful way which young people, they're really bored of Excel sheets and the graphs and everything. Those are important, but they will be more receptive when their senses in the body are more open and feeling beautiful. So we combined all of his rational numbers, the formats and everything into music and smell. That's what we will do here with our VIP guests today.
It sounds amazing. Thank you so much. It sounds amazing. And I love this concept of mental hacking, because sometimes we need to do this as well. But Jim, how works this platform? Because I had the chance to see the tool yesterday, and it's really, you have graphics, you have data, you have KPIs. So it's really rational. You get data from the teams, and performances. How it works?
Yes, that's one of the things. So the basic of everything is, I was a plant manager myself for 5 years. It was a terrible department. We needed to start making money to save these people's jobs, because the idea was to close the department. So in the end, I could manage to save all these people's jobs, but we went through different phases, and all these phases I wanted to summarize it in just one paper, one document. And in the beginning, I was just training companies in these are the different phases, these are the different types of people you have in your organization. But then COVID came, so I could not train anymore. And that moment I decided to translate the model into a scan, into a digital scan, where you now really can measure, okay, that is that type of person, that is that type of person. So because we see a shift going on from the rational to the experiential, the gap between both generations often is the problem. So we try to bring them together. We try always to create a win-win for both employer and employee. So it's not just giving to the employees out of fear that they will leave, because in the war for talent, that is what's happening.
Exactly.
So the current employees, they think, well, it's easy. I just get, and I don't have to do a lot. So they start quite quitting, what we do, like just doing the absolute minimum.
Yeah.
So we translated each dimension also in the music and in an aroma.
Wow.
So when I see you and I ask you, okay, smell the different aromas, I can tell you something about your personality, about your needs at that moment.
And Jeena, we were talking about yesterday about new generations, young generations, yeah? And the intergenerational relationships in companies, and how difficult it is, you know? We are in the midst of the IT and Innovation District of Barcelona, and there are many companies that are struggling here to attract and retain these people, yeah. So which is your vision of these young generations getting incorporated, and how these kind of tools and experiences can make them, you know, to feel that they are part of it, that they get engaged, and they see, you know, that their future, not for maybe, you know, a long period, but, you know, that they can engage for a period of their careers.
Exactly. So being a creative myself, I know that people, if you really want not just talent, but creative talent for innovation and all sorts of digital, artificial intelligence transformation of the world, you need creativity. You don't just need productivity. So for creative people are called creative because they think outside the box. Right? Now you bring them inside a box and you expect them to be creative, it's never going to work. However, you don't have to go wild. You can do things even sitting at your so-called boring office space. First of all, my thing is like, make your office space less boring. What I love here is you've created, the moment I enter, I already feel good. I feel my neurons firing faster. So that's already good. Now, within that space, we use the music aroma combination with the mind hacking to help them feel that you don't have to always go to a park and walk for 1 hour to get inspiration, because you will not have time. In the middle of a project, when your boss is pressurizing you to finish something and come up with 10 new ideas today, you have to finish it today. And what do you do then if you're feeling blocked? Then you use the creativity hack that we've created.
Yeah.
Things like that. And I'm not saying we are the only people who created a solution. Okay, this is one way. There are, I'm sure, 10,000 other ways. But this is a beginning of a change. And we as Happiness at Work Experience, we're inviting people to create experiential tools, not just our own. Of course, with our own, we are very happy and proud, and we've done the neuroscientific tests, and it's great. But we've seen in young people, when we have tested this, for example, we tested this in an office in Brussels. This young group, we gave them a certain combination, they did it, and then they couldn't stop talking about it. It was like, I think 5:36, and they were just constantly asking Jim questions about the mathematics of it.
Something magic happening there.
It was magic. And the HR manager, who was not a Gen Z or anything, she was much older, she was also standing there. So we saw both the generations standing and wow. And
amazing.
So then you forget that there is a problem with engagement. That means there is no problem. The problem is only because we don't know what to do with it. Otherwise, there's no problem.
Yeah, absolutely. And the 30th of April, today, is the official launching in Barcelona. It's connected to the Congress in October.
Yes.
Why Barcelona? Why you are hosting the big Congress here? And how? Because what I love about Happiness at Work Experience is the great international connection you have around the world. And this same event that we are hosting here for VIP group is going to be, you know, like connected to this Congress, as it's already been. Exactly, it's a roadshow, no, around the world in different cities. How works? How is this great network, international network, and why Barcelona, Jim?
Well, when we did it, when I saved these people's jobs, I wanted to show the world that it's better to invest in people, to look what their talents is, instead of just kicking them out. So I was planning to organize an event in Belgium, but the idea was to do it just once. But it was such a success that people asked, you will do it the second time. And okay, we did it the second time, and then the presenter came to me and she said, like, why don't you try to fill the Sport Palace? That's the biggest venue in Belgium that can hold 15,000 people. She knows that I'm training people in achieving goals, etc. So she kind of gave me a challenge. Why don't you fill that venue? Now we were thinking, okay, when we do one step more, let's try to have 500 people in Belgium. Now COVID came and 2 times postponed and etc. Now we had more than 1,100 people. In Antwerp, wow. HR people, CEOs, these kind of people we had, and we checked, and we were the biggest in the world. Wow. So we were thinking, like, let's try to be the biggest in Europe, but we checked worldwide and we were the biggest in the world. So then the idea came, like, okay, what is Belgium in the world? It's too small. So we started thinking, when we start now doing events globally, and the idea is to create like a tour, a global tour, wow. where we have 7, 8, 10, depending on the interest, cities, open-minded cities, dynamic cities. That is important, innovative. It has to move. So it's the first time I'm here in Barcelona, so I like really the energy in Barcelona. And we are looking for a cosmopolitan center of that global tour. So what we want to do is we want to create a tour where every year we come back to the same location. We add local pigments to the event, and now we are looking for a cosmopolitan center of that global tour. So Barcelona has the chance to be that global center. So that is why we invited these people. So it's up to them if they want to make like Catalonia and Barcelona like really the center of the world, of corporate well-being, of employee engagement. They have the chance. If they are not interested, fine, then we move on.
Exactly.
But I want to say something. You know, I remember we were done with the Antwerp edition, and we were both talking. You know, we need to find a really nice center of the world, and both of us, I don't know what happened. We both said, "What about Barcelona?" It was so, like, it was like a spiritual, enlightened moment, you know. And we were like, "Okay, Barcelona." And then somebody from Barcelona, I think the very next day or the same day, we were driving somewhere, and we got a call from Barcelona about interest in Hub.
So the universe is very clever.
We felt it from inside. Yeah, and I had never been to Barcelona before that.
Yeah, you're looking for a partner. Just a last question, you know, because we could. But which you know, like we are Institute for Future, but which type of partnership are you looking for? Which like you know, which type of corporates they can join, get on board, and you know how it works? Because maybe we have companies that are listening, they're interested in joining us in the Congress.
Yeah, the main thing is they have to be open-minded. So that's the main thing. So it's a decision they have to make, or they stay with the old and they will die, or they are open-minded and they go like with the flow, like what you are doing. Like it's you just, when you enter like an organization like yours, you see the vibe. You will see in the presentation the 3D vibe. You see that back. So we are looking for open-minded organizations who want to link their brand to ours. Now, for example, in hospitality, big hotels, they are really struggling with, you know, attracting young talents. So the moment that these young talents see that they are linked to our brand,
and what we stand for,
and what we stand for, of course,
the brand and the values that Happiness at Work is having.
And the value proposition.
I, as a youth, would want to join a company that cares about my happiness. I don't want to join a company that just cares about profit. So
when these young people know that, like, there's like an exciting culture, they take care of me, there's a future, there's innovation, we can show our passion and talent, we can be vulnerable, there's a culture of belonging there, and the basics are there.
Then everybody wants to join. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing, really. We are looking forward really to this afternoon, but as well, everyone that is listening, our community, you know, the entire Barcelona and Catalonia, as Jim was saying, you are invited to the Congress in October. We will send you more information about it, and it's an honor that you choose Barcelona for the launching of Happiness at Work experience. Thank you so much, Jim and Jeena, for being here with us.